gentlemen, what is happening tonight on a wonderful Tuesday evening, night? Folks, welcome to another edition of the Rico Report, brought to you by you know who, the Buffalo Fanatics. We are back at it again. I hope you guys enjoyed these last couple days to bask in the Bills being back. Can I say that? Is it too soon? Am I tripping? Am I feeling too good? Is this feeling going to not last? That's the question that I found myself wrestling with. And I hope I'm not the only one. I'm sure you guys are doing the same thing. But let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. Let's kind of dive into the I guess the uncertainty that we have, or the lack of wanting to put all our eggs in the basket. Because if this previous game against the Bengals wasn't an indication as to, like, man, don't take your eggs out of the basket because you just never know with these Bills, this was it. That was the game where the probability for these Bills winning against the Bengals was as low as 16%. If I'm no mathematician, but I mean, those odds aren't great. But just like that, momentum swings. Just like that, another swing of momentum more onto our side, enabling us to even win the game. And that's the thing with sports in general. Can't count anything out until they say the fat lady sings, until the last whistle is blown. Whatever analogy that you want to use, you've got to wait right till the end. So I titled this stream, "Are the Bills peaking at the right time?" Because I'm asking myself that question. Are they peaking? Am I tripping to feel good about these back-to-back wins that we've had? Am I tripping to feel good about what we've done defensively against a playoff team in the Pittsburgh Steelers and what is a playoff caliber offense in the Cincinnati Bengals? And we were able to get over the hump in both those games and give us two fantastic wins over the AFC North. So I'm content with that part of it. And then you have a game coming up against the New England Patriots that I, for one, am absolutely excited for. I, for one, am more excited that it's on the road. That is what I'm really excited about. But I'm not going to get too far into talking Patriots talk just yet, because we've got a great show for you guys today. If you guys noticed, I was going to start my show at 9 p.m. my time, 8 your time, but Carl won't be joining us till like 8:30 your time. So I was trying to time it right. So that's why I pushed the time a little further down, so that way we have some time with Carl. And I don't want to discuss too much without him being on stream with us. So which you just reminded me, I got to send that brother a link so he knows to join your boy. So that being said, I'm so glad that you guys have tuned in. This should be a fun show, a lot of discussion to be had, and I'm excited to have those discussions with you guys, because y'all already know, man, anytime that we get to talking football, we get to talking what scenarios are going to take place with these Bills, things get very interesting. So that's what I'm looking forward to jumping into it. So let's get right into our first topic, and that's kind of recapping this game, like recapping it, touching base. Where do you stand with these Bills right now? Is it too much to jump all the way in and say, all right, let's go, we can win this whole thing? And the narrative and the conversation being had right now, which prompted me to title it this way, is this the year? Take a look at all the quarterbacks that have given us issues, that have given us, fits, right? The Lamar Jacksons of the world, the Joe Burrows of the world, the Pat Mahomes of the world, right? Those are the guys that have always been in our way, whether it's regular season or in our way, whether it's the playoffs. And right now, 3 of those quarterbacks looks like they're headed out. I don't want to say they're completely out, because they're not completely out, but they're trending towards being out of the way. Thus, should propel Josh Allen and these Bills, with the experience that they have, to really go out and get it. And you know how we talk about things being so Billsy, right? When things look right, and then something falls apart. Oh, of course, that's a Billsy thing to happen. Why can't it be a Billsy thing to happen when we just don't know what's going to happen, right? Case in point, the Bengals game. It looked grave. It didn't look good, and all of a sudden, we're sitting here. You mean holding up the W, saying, "Hey, we got away with a win." Call it what you want to call it. Poor defense, bad circumstances, but sometimes we're the ones on the other end of those bad circumstances. Oh, it's just the Bills being the Bills. So could it be the year that the Bills, where you don't think they're going to do it, they just muster win after win, whether it's pretty or not, they get these wins? Could it be the year that they do it? And this is what's so fun about watching this Bills this season, is because it's just been up and down. It's up and down, and you're just not certain. So hopefully this is the peak that they hit. This is that stride that we've been waiting for them to hit, and hopefully this continues. And I made a video this off season about Josh Allen and his ability to potentially get himself a second MVP. And the second MVP conversation was merely had by me mentioning you got to beat Lamar Jackson. You got to beat Joe Burrow, right? Who else did I mention? There was another big-time quarterback that he had to beat. You got to beat Pat Mahomes, obviously, and he's done those three. He's done those three things. So, and you've got to try to win that AFC East. If you can try to win that AFC East, to me, you better crown that brother a second MVP. Now, he's got competition. Drake May's played fantastic football this year, but Drake May and the Patriots haven't exactly had the toughest schedule, right? But you don't create the schedule. You play who's in front of you and you beat them. That's their job. That's what they've been able to do. But I was on that train at the beginning of the year where if he beats those guys, which he has already, he just has to maintain. He's on his way to another 40 touchdown season. He's on his way to throwing for over 4,000 yards. I mean, could this be the year? This is why I'm saying, is this it? Matthew Stafford is playing fantastic ball, and that's why it's up in the air. I mean, touchdown to touchdown, they're pretty much neck and neck. And I think Matthew Stafford has one more than Josh Allen, but neither here nor there, because all three quarterbacks are playing fantastic ball, and we'll go from there. We'll go from there. So that being said, let me get into kind of recapping the game, because I know my man Z-Bot was, after he was done telling you that he almost went to the hospital and they had to bring him back to life because that game hadn't gone up and down. Listen, I was in the same boat as Z-Bot. I was in the same boat as every one of y'all, where we're watching this game thinking, my goodness, what is going to take place? How are we going to do this? And sports started sporting. And there you have it. Some folks want to call it the script. The script was in where it looks like the Bills are out and the Bills come back and Christian Bedford does what he needs to do. It's an exciting time to be watching sports, an exciting time to be watching your team. And what feels like the season just started, we're now at the tail end of the season. We've got 5 games left? It's unbelievable. 4 games left, I believe. It is absolutely unbelievable where we have come. We've come a long way. The Bills are 9-4 at the moment, and we got 4 games remaining on the schedule. We've got the Patriots next, then we got the Browns, which is going to be another tough opponent. Hopefully, we can sweep the AFC North, but Shador is playing some good ball right now, so we'll see how that plays out. Then we got the Eagles and the Jets. 4 games left. Right? It's the final 4. It's the final countdown. That's it, man. We got to get to it, but one game at a time. That's why this Patriots game is so big that we're going to be facing shortly. So let's start right here, man. My personal take on this game before I get into anything else. My personal take on this game is this, right? We needed to dig deep, and what needed to happen was somebody making a play, because at the end of the day, there's going to be some very low moments in these games and there's going to be some extremely high moments, but you want your stars, you want your X factor players to show up when you need them to show up. That's what separates the good players, star players, and superstar players, right? Josh is an elite superstar player. He's going to do elite things. I can't stress enough how to this day, to this moment, I don't understand how this brother was able to feed and just slide that football into the hands of Khalil Shakir while rolling right. You've got a defensive lineman barreling down on you. You shutter step and you give him a dead leg. You continue to go to the sideline. You stop on a dime, bring it back while still scanning down the field and throwing it in traffic and having Khalil Shakir have the concentration to bring that football in. I'm still wowed by that play. That was one of Josh's best throws. There's one throw that I remember, it was in his rookie year, where he had Ray McLeod on the side. It was preseason, and I saw him fit that football in, rolling to the right in between two defenders, and Ray McLeod got it. I was like, unbelievable play. Unbelievable play. I don't think if this is what Josh Allen's going to give us for his career in Buffalo, I'll take it. And then he does this. And I've seen many plays like this, right? The playoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs, rolling to his left, finding Khalil Shakir in the corner of the end zone. Unbelievable catch, unbelievable throw. The guy is elite. And that's why we pay guys like him. That's why in games like such, like the Bengals game, you need guys to step their game up above everybody else, because everybody else is good players. They've been great at every other level they play. But once you get to the NFL, it's where the greats separate themselves from the goods. And that's exactly what took place. Josh Allen elevated his game. Christian Benford elevated his game. So those were the X factor moments we needed in this Bengals game that allowed us to come away with a victory. And I'm just so thrilled to have been part of that. And I got to give a big shout out to those that went to the game. If you were in the stands, if you were in attendance at that game, it's not like it's the first time we've ever been in a game like this, right? I mean, if you go back, obviously it didn't end the way we wanted it to end, but there have been some exciting games in that stadium. Let me go back to my experience. The Monday Night Football game against the Dallas Cowboys, I think it was back in 2007, if I remember correctly. Unbelievable game. Did it end the way we wanted it to? No, but that place was electric. Monday Night Football, all of that greatness. And then these plays just continue. These plays just continue. And Josh Allen delivers. These Buffalo Bills deliver, and we take down the Cincinnati Bengals 39-34. And a couple things that I really want to touch on the more positive side. And one thing that stood out, although we've had some struggles offensively, it seems as though Brady and Josh have figured something out, which I truly believe. I hope they have, and I believe they may have. And moving the sticks in this last matchup with the Bills versus the Bengals, the Bills, I mean, not that it went unnoticed, but these Bills were able to be a lot better on their third down offense. And these guys were able to really come to and really convert. And that's what allowed the Bills to keep the sticks moving. But not even that, I guess the mental toughness and the balls it takes to go for it on 4th and long or 4th and whatever. And you're able to come out there and really dominate and move the sticks and not allow your punter to even get on the field. Did you guys realize that? Not one time did Mitch Wisniewski come on there and punt the football, because the Bills were absolutely determined to not give that football away. If we have an opportunity to move the sticks, we are going to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bills went 3 for 4 on 4th down, 75% efficiency, and went 6 for 11 on 3rd down. 6 for 11 on 3rd down. I don't care that the Bengals defense is not considered great. I don't care. What I heard from the Bengals podcasters, my boys Ace and Zim, was that, hey, these last 2 or 3 games defensively, they've been much better. Well, I'll take that 6 for 9, moving the football down the field and moving the sticks and keeping the time of possession on our side. I will take that all day. And here's the biggest thing. Although I would have loved to see a lot more from James Cook, I love that James didn't have to be the focal point. This was a group effort. We got contributions from not just James and Josh. Dawson Knox decided to show up, right? Kincaid, bum knee, bum hammy, and all came through and handled business. So those are these efforts that we don't look at this. The receivers aren't doing what they need to do right now, understood. But we do have a first round tight end in Kincaid that gutted it out and made plays when needed to be made, right? Dawson Knox put his hand up and says, hey, remember me? I used to be Josh's, you know what I mean? His security blanket. I can still play. I can still get down the field. I can still make big plays for my quarterback. And that's exactly what took place. So which brings me into my next point talking about this game is there were some heroes in this game. There were some absolute spotlight heroes in this game. And I want to put a spotlight on Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox absolutely deserves a spotlight for his performance against the Bengals. And he did not disappoint. He absolutely did not disappoint. He came in and reminded Bills fans, yes, my cap tag is quite large, but I'm still a big-time contributor. And even more so, I'm a great teammate. There's nothing that anybody can say about Dawson Knox that can't prove that he's not only a great teammate, but a great asset to this team. Dawson Knox led the way with 6 receptions, 93 yards, had 15.5 yards of pop, huge plays, had a long 32 off of 7 targets. 6 off of 7 targets, and that 7th target was just him being out of the end zone, and he couldn't corral that all the way in. Dawson Knox was absolutely sensational in this game, and you got to put the spotlight on that, brother, man. Can never forget about that, which makes me think, have they figured out something? Have they figured out a way to use both tight ends effectively to allow the middle of the opponent's defense to be threatened? And then hopefully it'll open up the rest of our guys. But I've got to give credit where credit is due. My guy, Dawson Knox, came through, handled business, and he didn't disappoint. He absolutely did not disappoint. And I'm so proud to say that because, dude, all 3 tight ends played well. Thank you, Brian. Was it Brian Brantley? All 3 tight ends. When you needed them to step up and make something happen, they did. Jackson Hawes, Kincaid, Dawson Knox. And guess what? Those 3 guys were what led our receivers. We had 6 receptions coming from Dawson Knox, another 4. That's 10 receptions plus another reception. The one lone reception scored for a touchdown. I'll take that. I will take that. 11 receptions off of what? Josh Allen had 22. Half his passes went to the tight ends. I'll take that. Especially going up against a guy like Joe Burrow, firepower Joe Burrow. You're going neck and neck, going for Joe Burrow, and you're using your tight ends. Heck yeah. That tells me homework was done. That tells me everyone was locked in. That tells me that Joe Brady understood the assignment. The assignment was exploit, take advantage of the middle of that defense. They cannot handle Dawson Knox. They can't handle Kincaid, and we're going to take full advantage of it. Take care of the middle, run that football, and let Josh do what he does. And that's exactly what took place. So spotlight hero, I'm going to put a nice spotlight on Dawson Knox because he's well-deserving of it. And we couldn't have asked for a better performance coming from a guy that needed to step up because we knew we needed this game. If we're still trying to fight and fight hard for this AFC East title, there's a lot of football left. We've just got to handle our business and win out the rest of the season and let the chips fall where they fall with the Patriots. But we got to handle our own with the Patriots coming this week. But we'll get into that in just a little. So big shout out to Dawson Knox. Got to give him his love. Got to give the love to obviously Kincaid gutting it out. And I'm happy to announce, obviously not me announcing it, but to hear that Coach McDermott announced that, listen, although he played in the game, no setbacks, everything went well. He was cool. So that tells me, all right, you're able to get into game action. So we'll likely see him next week. So I'm not even knock on wood. It looked good. I'll take the coach's word for it. And we'll see tomorrow when the injury report comes out. We'll talk about it more with my guy, the Thigh Doc, and we'll see how that all shakes out. So big shout out to the offense. Big shout out to Joe Brady exploiting that defense, interior of the defense, the back end, the linebackers took full advantage of it. And I'll take that all day. If that's where we can take advantage of it, take it. Josh's presence in the pocket, take it. The ability to see the holes and see the breakdowns and anticipate where they're coming from. Having a 6'4", 6'5" quarterback 245 pounds, give or take. These arm pulling, and that's not going to work with that brother. That's why we drafted him. We drafted him for those reasons. Big, tall, burly quarterback that doesn't go down on no tickety-tick boo, right? He's ready to go, and I'll take that every day. So big shout out to Josh. Big shout out to the offense. Got to give love on the offensive side of the ball. But this doesn't all happen just like that. You don't get a spark just like that. Ladies and gentlemen, the X factor of the game, the big X factor of this game that turned this game upside down was cornerback out of Villanova, Christian Benford. Only 25 years of age, folks. Be excited about that. That brother seems to be finding his footing. I know the year started off a little shaky. We weren't sure what was happening, but it seems as though he's found his confidence. He's found his ground, and he's now I don't know if he's demanding, but internally, what it feels like, he's saying, if you're going to pay me this type of money, let me cover the top guys in this game. Don't let me be the cornerback that just stays on one side and just I'll do my job, right? There was a point where Stephon Gilmore, all he did was just stay on one side. He didn't travel. He didn't do any of the traveling. So it seems as though they've now trusted Christian Benford to follow those receivers. Obviously, if he's in the slot, he's not going to go into the slot. He's no Champ Bailey. Champ Bailey will follow you wherever you go. There was a story that Steve Smith was on a podcast, and he was talking about who the best corner that ever covered him. And he said Champ Bailey. And it was to the point where he said, I'd line up in the backfield as a running back. Guess where Champ Bailey lined up? Right in the middle as a linebacker. He did not let me get out of the way. Now, is Benford doing that? Not yet. Is he a Champ Bailey? He's only 25 years old. Maybe he will become that. But Champ Bailey is one of the best to ever play the game. But the point I'm trying to make is this. Christian Benford has officially arrived. He has officially arrived to now demand. Which one of y'all am I covering? Oh, Jamar Chase, I got you. If you have not seen what has taken place the last couple games with Christian Benford, let me remind you guys just a little something when it comes to Mr. Christian Benford. I had to. So the last 16 matchups, okay, against Jamar Chase in that Bengals game, according to Next Gen Stats, 2 targets, 0 catches allowed, 0 yards allowed. That brother locked him down. 4 receptions alone for Jamar Chase, and when he did catch him, you saw it. It was in the likes of Cam Lewis covering him, or it was Taron Johnson covering him. But when 47 was on his behind, locked down. You ain't got nothing. And guess what? Did the same thing to DK Metcalf, to the point where I gave DK Metcalf, you're saying, milk carton candidate. Where was he? He was a no-show. Let me remind you who the no-show, who made him a no-show. That's my guy, Christian Benford. Christian Benford has been on a tear these last 2 games. Fumble recovery for a touchdown, interception. Guess what? He comes back and gives you the same thing, now becoming one of the first, actually the first player in this team's history for back-to-back defensive touchdowns, consecutive. So big shout out to Christian Benford. That is that dude. He is that dude. And to the point where I'm wasting no time. I'm about to find out where I'm going to get that brother's jersey. I'm going to get that jersey. I'm locking it in. I just got to figure out where I want, if I want to get the white, the ice white, if I want to go with the blue, do I want to go all red? I don't know. The red 47 would look pretty dope. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hold you, but that is where I'm at with it. Christian Benford deserves all the love, and I need it to continue because we've got a bevy of games coming up against some big-time opponents. Next up, Stephon Diggs. I don't care what anybody tells me. That's going to be a matchup I'm looking forward to, and I'm waiting for it because that brother was able to do all the things he wanted to do the last time we played. But you didn't have Christian Benford following you. And ever since that game, he hasn't surpassed 6 or 7 receptions. So what are we talking about here? He saved his best performance for the Bills, which was way back in week 4, week 5? No. I can't wait for this game, man. I can't wait for this game. And you know what? I can talk about cornerbacks all day. I played a little bit of safety back in the day, but I was more of an offensive guy. I was a running back. But you know who can help me talk about cornerbacks and talk about who does what and who does this? That's my guy, Carl Jones. When he's ready to go, he knows what to do. Oh, he gave me the thumbs up? What, is he corporate with me? What's up, big dog? What's happening, bro?
I'm good, my boy. I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing well. I mean, I can't bring you in without giving you a little love. So, my man in the building, what's good, my G? So, listen, let's get right into it because I'm limited with your time. So, I want to try to get everything I can out of you in terms of talking ball. So, your thoughts, number one, on such an epic game. With Christian Benford showing up, Josh Allen making unbelievable passes. Your thoughts, share it with me. What did you come away with that game?
Yeah, I'll just go with those two players. I will never tell anyone how to be a fan. I think that's what makes sports so great is that we can all be fanatical in our own weird ways, and I will never
Right.
police anyone how to do that. Having said that, as an outsider, I just want to kindly suggest Bills Mafia to never ever take 17 for granted in the what he can do at the quarterback position. And this isn't to me to say he's the best, the greatest, or anything of that nature, but in terms of the unique combination that's wrapped up into that man's body is something
Yep.
that has never been seen in NFL history at the quarterback position. And I think that his unique combination of physical attributes, his tenacity, his willingness to never ever give up, I think is something that's so unique, and it was all on display Sunday in the snow against the Bengals. And then in terms of Christian Benford, it's a great performance. You know, they needed a play, and ball players making plays in the exact moment that they needed. I love the fact that he said you're not supposed to leave your feet in that moment because you're not. How many times have y'all seen players get juked by Josh Allen because he's pump faking and you leave your feet? But that's just being a ball player, man, and that's what ball players do. So kudos for CB on that play. Also, the sack, well-timed cat corner blitz, I believe, at the end of the first half. So, yeah, Josh is amazing. You guys didn't need me to tell you that. I just want to give y'all some reminders and never take that brother for granted. And then CB playing extremely well and doing everything that the Bills are asking of him of late.
I can listen, man. Not that we ever doubt Josh, because that's one guy you just never want to doubt. And even when the chips are against you, you can't bet against that guy because he's going to do everything in his power. So that's why I found it so comical when people were saying, "Oh, he's married. He doesn't care anymore. He's checked out. He's this. He's that." I would love to hear these people come back and talk about how checked out he is, bro. He's checked in, he's all the way in, and he wants nothing but to bring a championship to Buffalo. I can't wait for that to happen. That'll be a time. I gotta talk about something, man, because we're talking about Christian Benford and how fantastic he is, and I do want to go over some of the clips that you had of Christian. We'll talk about it a little bit, but there is something that I need to shine a light on.
Okay,
Shaq freaking Thompson yet again. My, what a difference! And I love that I saw this, and I'm like, that encapsulates it the best. So there's this commercial that I always see. I'm sure you see it too, right? It's this thing where when people sit in desk chairs all day and they're hunched over and they're like this, and then they have this strap, so you're just supposed to pull it and it straightens your spine out, so you're properly postured. This is what the infusion and insertion of Shaq Thompson, that's what he's done to this defense. He's strapped us up and he's got us with great posture, and that's what he's done. He's been the spine of this defense. These last three games, the last three games that he's been the starting linebacker, it was week 8 against the Carolina Panthers, week 13 against the Steelers, and then obviously the last couple days ago with the Bengals. 114 yards rushing for Carolina. At that time, Carolina was on a heater. Rico Dowdle was just killing cats for like 200 yards and 250 yards. This boy was killing it. We limited those teams and we spanked the Carolina Panthers to, what was it, 40-9 or something of that ridiculous nature. And he had that big long run of like 30 yards. If not for that, we shut that brother down. That's because Shaq Thompson was in the game. 58 yards against the Steelers, 62 yards against the Bengals. This guy he's allowed this team to keep guys under 78 yards rushing these last 3 games. How do you take that brother out? You can't. He has been the spine of this defense. He has been the heart of this defense. And because of him, he's given this defense more life. You're able to do the things that Christian Benford is doing, right? So this is great job by Shaq Thompson. And I won't poo-poo on Bernard, because when Bernard returns, that's just going to be a great tandem of having both of them on the field. There's no hate involved in this, but I love what Shaq Thompson has been able to just infuse into his defense. Your thoughts on what he's done the last 3 games and what he was able to do this upcoming game, because he's just been a difference maker.
Yeah, if you guys follow me on X or heard me on this program, I've always said, at least dating back to the tail end of the 2023 season, the Bills' spine of the defense is a sore point. The
Mm.
D tackles to the linebackers, back to the safeties, and not saying that they're bad players, but they aren't the most physically imposing players. So there are ways that you can get after them. And Cole Bishop is great. He's balled out probably the last 2 months of this season. Ed Oliver is a good player when he's clicking on all cylinders. But they needed somebody at the back of the position to impose a certain type of physicality in the run game. And I mean, and the splash plays are great. I know everyone's going to talk about the blow up screen he had on Chase Brown, and I posted some clips earlier with the great tackles he's had in space this season. But you really feel his impact on when he's not even the guy making the tackle. He's just blowing up a guard to blow up a guard. Like oh, we all had that teammate in high school where it's like, hey, bro, you know the ball wasn't going over there. He goes, yeah, I just wanted to hit somebody. Like that's kind of like and he's obviously a lot more intelligent than that, but that's just like the vibe I get from Shaq Thompson when he's out there, where he just likes getting in the trenches and battling like that. So I think that's contagious, it's infectious, it has wore out on the rest of the Bills defense, and it has really, really come to fruition the last 2 weeks.
I couldn't agree more, and I'm looking at the clip right now that I want to like jump on there, and so people can see it. Just the difference that Shaq Thompson brings to this defense. Like we were talking about it last week, where it's just he brings violence and he's instinctual. Like he sees it and he attacks.
Yes,
he plays no games, right? He's right on it. Like he doesn't.
Yeah.
He just and go ahead. I won't talk on. I'll let you talk on that, man.
No, but I think linebacker is such and I'm still learning myself. I never played linebacker a day in my life. Y'all looking at me? Come on, please. But I'll say this: the one thing that I did learn about being the guys behind them and watching them from the defensive back room is that the best plays they make aren't the plays that show up in the stat book. It's the ones where they are blowing up guards. It's the ones where they are taking on double teams and allowing someone else to win. It's the ones where you hear them, where you go, whoa, what was that? Gunshot? Oh, no, it's just somebody blowing up a tackle's ear hole. Like those are the plays that are that get you really going as a defensive back or anyone else out there on the field. And you see that with Shaq Thompson. These are just the tackles he's made. I mean, sideline to sideline right here. My boy coming on.
I love it.
Two season-ending leg injuries, and he's just running like he's 25 again.
I love it. I'm a big fan of it, and I think I'm confident enough to know that coaches see it,
right?
Players see it. There's a difference in the locker room, and I'm sure that he's respectful enough that, I mean, listen, they're teammates, man. They talk about love all day. I mean, I love that brother, man. I play for that brother. So Bernard just can't wait to get back in so they can do it together, and that just makes his defense that much better. And I'm loving the stretch that we're going on. So that being said, we're talking about Christian Benford. We're talking about this defense. Let's talk about this team in total, right? Are they peaking? Can we see a run being had where they take it to the Patriots, they take it to the Browns, which is still going to be a tough game. You know what I mean? They take it to the Jets, which is the last one, and the Eagles right now, I just don't know with the Eagles. The Eagles are just they're up and down. I don't know what to say of these Eagles. We'll wait a couple weeks, but this upcoming game against the Patriots, are we seeing a surge? Is this the run that we're going on? And you see Lamar, you see Pat Mahomes, right? And you see, obviously, Joe Burrow is right. They're all reeling right now. They don't know if they're going to be in it. And now they're all waiting for somebody else to lose in this, that, and the third. Your thoughts on this overall picture? And is this the year, right? Is it the time that the Bills can actually fully take this on? Or am I tripping? Is it too soon?
Well, I mean, if you're a Bills fan, you should always be excited when the other superhuman like mutants in the conference probably won't be there. So I think you should always be ecstatic when that's the case. That's first and foremost. In terms of the Bills themselves, I do think they have found some sort of identity somewhat on the offensive side of the ball where, like, hey, we've known all year we can run the rock and we can get these tight ends involved. And we're not going to ask a lot of our wide receivers, but in certain situations, we may call on them to make a play here and there, but we're not going to run the offense through them. You know, like whether it's that RPO on third down, the quick slant to Keon Coleman, whether it's a similar thing to Gabe Davis down on the goal line. I think those are the situations where the offense is really trying to find their identity, and I think they have to a certain extent. Defensively, I mean, I think the defense is what it is at this point. It's not a good unit, but it's a unit to where I think they figured out the fact. I made this analogy earlier on
Right.
on TV. For those who have ever played blackjack before, and you at the table and you keep asking the dealer, everyone like, "Yo, what does the book say?" And the books keep telling you, "Oh, like you stay here, you hit here," and you keep getting scraped. Your pockets is going, you're losing all your chips. You playing by the book, and you're doing the safe and sound thing, and you keep losing all your chips. But you get down to your final 2 chips. So you start hitting on 16s. You start doubling down on hard 12s. You start splitting aces when you ain't supposed to. You start hitting when the dealer's showing 5, and you start taking risk and being more volatile. Like, yes, you can lose all your money, but you can also make a lot of money doing so. And I think that's what the Bills defense is at the moment, where like if they play safe, they don't have the bodies and they aren't good enough to just sit back and sit in zone coverage and just let you win that way. We saw it in the first half. Joe Burrow looked like Jesus Christ reincarnated and how he was walking up and down the field. But then when you watch the Bills defense, when they turn up the volatility in the second half, and even that final drive of the first half, that's what things started to change. Yes, they still got beat like a drum when they blitzed. The cover 0 touchdown to Gesicki. The T. Higgins big over route in the middle of the field was also a blitz. I'm missing 2 other plays where they blitzed and they got gashed. But then they also made some plays when they blitzed. Christian Benford's sack, Christian Benford's pick 6. The first 2 plays out of the second half, they blitzed, overthrow to Jamar Chase to the outside, back-to-back plays to the sideline. So I think if you're the Buffalo Bills defense, you may peak at the right time and saying, we're bad, but might as well have the peaks and valleys of saying, if we can get 3-4 stops a game and give it back to 17, that's the way you live, because they just can't sit. You right. I was feeling myself thinking about my bad. I ain't been at the tables in like a year, but you get the point though, where you being a little more risky when you ain't supposed to. So like, I think that's where, if you're the Bills defense, you lean into that volatility. I mean, that's soft zone stuff, but they were getting carved up in the first half. But
they were.
And put it like this: they're not the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans play defense the most beautiful brand ever. You know, we playing cover 1 every single snap, beat us. The Bills can't do that. They ain't got the horses to do that. So you gotta disguise guys and do. They tricked Joe Burrow like twice in that game, which is a lot. No one ever tricks Joe Burrow, but if you can do that, Drake may get fooled. I don't know, 3-4 times. I think that's where the Bills defense is at the moment.
So so I'm glad, because I want to kind of transition a little bit into, like, we're staying with this defense, but Sean McDermott and Bobby Babbitt. So I was under the impression, and I'm not sure, but I'm giving all this credit to McDermott on, obviously I have to give credit. He's the head coach, but I'm giving all this credit to McDermott, but apparently it was Babbage that was calling these plays, man. And unless McDermott's just being kind and saying, no, he called those plays and he was doing it, that brother was calling plays, and we should be thanking. We should be at least giving some credit to Babbage on some nice disguises, some exotic looks that he gave. That they the blitz from Benford coming off the sideline. You see that kind of rotation happen. It was a thing of beauty. It's nice to see, and those are the things that kind of confuse and not allow Burrow to see these things. So your thoughts on I guess the last couple games where you've seen decent little adjustments being made in the second half, and giving credit to Bobby Babbage. Like, is this something that we can start seeing that they're starting to find their identity, or pump the brakes? Not yet. They just had a good game. We'll take it one game at a time.
Well, they gave up 34 points. I don't know how much credit you want me to give somebody who gave up 34 if you don't got Josh Allen on the other side. This is a whole different conversation.
34, yes, but then they held them to 13 points in the second half. There's those second half adjustments. So I'm like, did they
I see what you're saying. Give credit for it. Well, to be fair, though, I think they've been great with making second half adjustments dating back to that Patriots game back in week 5. Like, they've done a good job in being much better in the second half for the majority of the season. The problem is they dig themselves in the holes that they can't get out of, and you get bailed out when if 17 isn't having his – like, you can't dig it out of that hole when 17 is not having a good day like he was in Miami or in Houston or in Atlanta. So I think, yes, it's great to play better in the second half, but how about don't get put in the hole in the first place? Like, I think that's where I land on all of this. I know a lot of people are, and rightfully so. It's much better to play better in the second half, but Josh Allen can't – and I know how many – they scored 39. Josh Allen can't score 32 points every single week. Like, that just – they won't play the Bengals every single week.
Every week, exactly right.
You may play the Texans where, listen, you give up 22 points. You give up 21 points to the Texans in the first half. Go pray to sweet baby Jesus. Like, that's what, like, so I hear you, and I think there is some credit to be had there, but I'm not willing to go as far as, like, crowning them for I like this is the analogy a coach told me. I'm not giving you credit for putting water on the house fire when you're the one that set it on fire. Like just because, like,
it's the best way to put it.
Like, bro, you the one that set the house on fire. I'm not about to give you credit for being a fireman. So I think that's where I land on that.
Yeah, you put the log in the fire, but you left the door open and cold and the heat's getting out. Come on, fam. Like, close the door. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to get some happen. I get you. I'm with you on that one. All right, let's get into it because I know I got another like a 10, 15 minutes left with you. So let's get ready. The good, the bad, the ugly. What were two things that stood out with you that you found and that potentially not the obvious? Josh Allen, we knew was fantastic. We knew Christian Benford was fantastic. Anything else stood out to you that was good in this game?
Yeah, I think that Joe Brady, in terms of pulling out that sniper on the Bengals linebackers, was great. I mean, the Bengals linebackers, as we all have known, have struggled to stop tight ends this entire season. And the fact that he didn't make it anything complex, it was simple play action, it was rollouts, it was boots, even traditional dropbacks. We're going to pepper Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, even Jackson Hawes. I think that there may be a lot of questions with Joe Brady as OC, but one of them, it has never been his ability to do the obvious. I think that's one thing that people have maybe given him a lot of credit for, is that, oh man, when something's working, he don't stay away, he don't go away from it. So I do want to give him credit for that, for not trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Like, the Bengals suck at stopping tight ends.
I like that a lot. I'll pivot to Sean McDermott. And Sean McDermott, I'm going to give him the good here. And him, I wouldn't say just trusting, because I think he trusts this team completely, but him having just not even thinking about it. Fourth down, they went 3 for 4 on fourth down conversions, and they converted on huge plays. And that the day of playing it safe, because I'm going to try to there is none of that with Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott knows when to be aggressive, and he's allowing his team to be aggressive, and it paid off in this win against the Bengals. So I love that about what took place against these Bengals with Sean McDermott with his aggressiveness. I love that. Anything else that you want to push on that before we go to the bad?
That might be it. Wide receiver blocking was good, but that's mostly every single week.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they're hired to do.
They do. Yeah, for sure.
That's what they do. All right, let's go to the bad, man. What stood out to you that you're like, you know what? Maybe not a whole lot of people talking about it, or maybe this is a trend that's happening, but I don't like this. This is bad.
I mean, the pass rush outside of Joey Bosa this season has been not good.
Atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ed Oliver is second on the team in sacks, and he's played just as much as you and I this year, basically.
Crazy.
I think Christian Benford's like third on the team in sacks. Like, Christian Benford has more sacks the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it is, than Greg Rousseau. So, like, that's just can't happen. Like, I know Greg Rousseau has a lot of value as a run defender and pushing up and crushing the pocket as a pass rusher, but you got to be. And now, listen, I know I talked to AJ Epinesa actually after the game and how difficult it is to rush the passer in the snow. You have no footing out there.
Right.
Defense is way harder in the snow than it is for the offense.
I mean, I was going to say you played. So, like, in the snow, you're backpedaling.
It's hard. It is so hard. So I talked to AJ about it. But even separate to that game, they couldn't get any pressure on Davis Mills. So, like, they have to continue to figure out that area of the game, because we all know in the postseason, all that disguise stuff is cool, but every coach is good at that point. You got to figure out if your Jimmys and Joes to elevate above the whiteboard, to elevate above the playbook. And that's where, barring Joe, as long as Bosa comes back relatively healthy for the postseason run, you're going to need a running mate. Maybe it is Ed Oliver coming back with one arm doing that, but Rousseau, Epinesa, maybe even a Deion Walker or TJ Sanders helping out in that department.
For me, the bad, I'm gonna. I don't know whether I should put this in bad or ugly, but first half, allowing Joe Burrow to just carve you. These guys, if you saw the third down, these guys went 10 for 12 on third down conversions. 10 for 12, damn near 90%. 10 for 12. That cannot happen, and that's what allowed these guys to really do what they wanted at will in the first half, and they just kept on doing it until we started to kind of really buckle down and make adjustments. But that first half, a team that has a good defense is not going to allow us to just march down the road. Like you were saying, Josh Allen's fantastic, but he can't always do 33, 34, 35 points every time. There's going to come a time where, I mean, we're going to have to buckle down and make some stops early in the first half. So that, to me, what stood out a lot was like, listen, we're playing 10, 15 yards off, and then we're backing up at the same time. We're just letting these guys just catch everything. Gesicki, and Gesicki and a few others had to make some really tough catches. But nonetheless, that's what we saw. So to me, that first half defensive effort, allowing 10 for 12 on third downs. Nasty. That's nasty work. All right, let's go to the ugly. This might be tough. I mean, we won the game. Is it always perfect? No. Did anything stand out to you that was ugly, or was it more on the bad side rather than ugly?
Calling it ugly because the standards for this player is extremely high, but James Cook having 2 fumbles in like 5 plays is just no bueno. Like that shit, you can't have that. I think he leads running backs and fumbles in the NFL this season.
Which is crazy because I would have never thought that.
Never would have thought that. I mean, he had a streak of like no fumbles up until like I'm spitballing here, but until like midway through the season. So that's ugly. Once again, I don't foresee that being some grand issue going forward, but Benford doesn't take that back to the house. Right. Jordan Phillips doesn't get his hand in the air. That game may look a lot different, and we point to James Cook fumbling at the goal line. I would say that, and then me defensively. I know they made plays, but I just don't like. It don't feel good inside when I see 34 points on the board. I don't care if it's the 2,000 Rams on offense. So like that I just thought was ugly. They did have it was kind of like it was ugly, but they put some makeup on it to make it look cute at times, and that's what the Benford and the Epinesa pick were.
No, I'm with you on that one. And for me, the ugly was I went to we just lack of pass rush, and you hit it. But to me, that's ugly because that's like if we're gonna do something, and all the money that we've invested into this team is in that defensive line, and we're relying on our cornerback to come in and make a play, and one of the leading sack artists on our team is Ed Oliver, which hasn't played in over a month. To me, that's nasty work. That's ugly. We've got to be better. And the depth that we have right now is horrible. I mean, Michael Hoyt came in and gave us such a boost in the 1.5 games that he was around, and we've lost that completely. Greg Rousseau just isn't the pass rush specialist that we want him to be. Yeah, but he's had 8 sacks. Yeah, that's fine. But we don't depend on you to make a play. If you get a sack, that's because coverage and it falls into your lap. I'm not trying to disparage anything at all by his play, but just hasn't been fantastic. So that pass rush to me, if we're going to get after guys like Drake May, we're going to go after guys once we get into playoffs like a Justin Herbert, bro. You got to get after these boys. I mean, you saw the Eagles game last night. That stack after sack and turnovers. Listen, it was nasty work. But that's something we don't present, and that's the one thing that stood out to me. All right, that's it. I mean, I just want to get your thoughts on that.
I do want to mention I want to get one thing because I haven't been able to talk about it in this platform yet. I thought that the conversation surrounding Christian Benford is fascinating because he's a phenomenal player and all the love he's getting is great. But I do think Sunday in particular was a big team effort in slowing down Jamar Chase. Like if you watch that game back, and I posted, I think like 8 or 9 clips on social media, that was a team effort slowing down Jamar Chase. They threw the kitchen sink in terms of the coverage menu and tried to slow it. Like Benford at no point was one-on-one for maybe more than 2 or 3 snaps. He was press coverage underneath, and I got safety right over the top. Or I'm bailing out, and I got a linebacker or Poyer underneath me. Or we're going to double, which means we're going to immediately bracket these guys. I mean, if we look at these clips here, safety right over the top right here. I got heavy inside leverage. We got the sideline helping me out. We got right here, same thing. I am making sure. Like, this is a great execution of the game plan by Christian Benford, but I also do want to give credit for everyone involved because I've been the safety in this scenario where it's like, hold on, bro, you want one-on-one? I was right there too. So I want to give everyone they credit and they flowers for slowing down the greatest receiver on planet Earth right now, because that is no small feat in doing so.
So what I'm gaining is credit to Benford, but let's not put all that love on Benford like he's the second coming.
No, because there's a big difference between one-on-one. I'll just say this because I think Christian Benford is a phenomenal player. He's fantastic, and you can only do what coaches ask of you. I want to make that abundantly clear. You can only do what coaches ask of you. But that is much different than what Pastor Tan does. That is much different than what Stingley or Gonzo or. But here's the thing, though. Who gives a crap? Christian Benford executed his game plan like an A+. And that is all that matters, is that I do what my coaches ask of me.
Will you see that amount of rolling over for him next week against, obviously, coming up against Stephon Diggs? Or will they allow him to be one-on-one?
I don't think so, because DK, he didn't get a lot of rollover help either. They didn't really feel as threatened. I think that treatment is only reserved for like these special receivers.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
like your Chases. Drake London got a lot of that same type of treatment where they put help over the top. I imagine AJ Brown and Smitty, they're going to get that same treatment. So, listen, I think there are only like 4 corners on planet Earth where you just feel comfortable giving them no damn help.
Yeah.
So once again, I want to make this abundantly clear. That is not his fault. So let me read this real quick.
No, go ahead.
I am not going to say that I like my job. Having said that, I think we are all in agreement, Mr. Signified No 74099, that Shaq Thompson has been the best linebacker for the Buffalo Bills this season.
There you go. Hey, Signified, you tried it, boy. You tried it. All right, listen. My guy Carl Jones, thank you so much. I'm a little over time, but I had to get you on, talk this game, and I'm loving the clips that you're putting out there. And you're right, man. You can't. There's a lot of credit supposed to be given to Chris Bradford. Just not forget
a lot.
Jamar Chase is just some guy, right? He is Jamar Chase.
It would be bad. It would be bad coaching not to give him help. It would be bad coaching.
No doubt about it. So I'm gonna let you sign off like you normally do. So do what you do because you always have a nice little clean setup.
Yeah, for sure.
What you got?
Sitting down with Gabe Davis tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, so get to chop it up with him, off the field, on the field, all the good jazz. So be on the lookout for my socials and all the clips that I got putting out there. Chopping it up with Gabe. I'll be at practice on Wednesday and Thursday, hollering at the players. Also chopping it up with Joe Andreessen on Friday for a big stadium series we're doing. He's one of the unique players who has been in this area since he was a puppy. So this is the final year of the stadium, so he gets to know a little bit of everything. So I'll do a little walk and talk with him. Maybe try to find some seats that he sat in when he was a little young pup. So doing that.
You, huh? I love it.
I'm trying to be famous like you one day. You feel me?
I hear you, bro.
And then that's that. Also, I'm so grateful that none of y'all was talking that bull jive about my Buckeyes falling short. Don't get it twisted. We coming back. We getting the natty.
I was trying to.
Y'all seen signing day, right? We top 30 in signing day. We back. We coming for the ACC chip next year. If Duke can get a title, we can too. Hey, much love.
Hold on. Your thoughts on Notre Dame? Yay or nay on what they decided to do?
Listen, I'm about to spit for 30 seconds here like I'm Pac. Listen, I hate Notre Dame. I can't stand everything about it. I grew up in the Midwest, so I got a different level of hate for Notre Dame. I went to a Catholic high school, so my hate is even higher for that Catholic university. I can't stand them. They be complaining too much. Join a conference or shut the hell up. Y'all played 2 games this season. Y'all lost both of them. You want me to give you credit for beating my school by 70? Congrats. We was trash. You want credit for beating Boston College? They barely got a quarterback. Bill O'Brien, their head coach right now. Relax. Have a matcha. Y'all tripping. Go play. Like, here's the thing about Notre Dame. Notre Dame fans don't even care about football. They just care about their school. So it's like, bruh, like talking about some, we above this. We ain't got to go to a bowl game. Do you like watching football? I would love to see my team play preseason, let alone a damn bowl game. So, like, I'm tired of Notre Dame fans. Y'all don't really care about football for real. Y'all just care about that gold helmet and, oh my God, Jesus loves us. He loves y'all so much that y'all at home not playing a bowl game, not playing for no national championship. By the way, Notre Dame talking about y'all prestigious or something. Y'all ain't played for a natty since the Soviet Union. What the hell we talking about? Love y'all though. Much love to everybody, even the Notre Dame fans. Y'all be safe.
Oh, I knew I had to get my man Carl Jones on that because I'm sure he had it. He knows I'm gonna have to clip that. I gotta clip it. I have to clip it. He had to get it off his chest. That he did, and then he signs off. So you can tell that how much love he's got for Notre Dame. Shout out to my guy Carl. So if you guys have not followed my guy Carl, go ahead and follow him on all socials. Go ahead and hit him on his YouTube page because everything that he does, he posts on the YouTube page. So go ahead and find him. And we will go from there. My man said, yo, they haven't done anything since USSR. Golly. So it's been a minute. So let's get right into it. I just want to, because I got a little longer with y'all and just want to jump on a couple things, right? So the Bills being 9-4. All right. That was a huge win. They're on their way. Their chances, obviously, getting to the playoffs is strong. Now at this point, it's just about how and where they seed. Will they seed as the 5 spot, 6 spot, 7 spot? I mean, we'll see. Maybe they can get up to a little further if there's a few things that work our way, meaning the New England Patriots take the L to us and then they find a way to lose a couple more games. And let's not forget, man, the Patriots, although they've been a decent team. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna hate. They've been a good team. They've been a good team this year. But I'm sitting there watching these Patriots. and who they played and who they have next, that's what I'm interested in, right? So the Bills, we need to lay that smack. And right now, Vegas has us with a slight edge. I think what they have is a -1.5. That's the spread right now. So -1.5. So if you are into that sort of thing, you guys know what time it is. Go ahead and handle that. That's the way. That's the one way I gotta show you. And I gotta get into my sleeper in just a little bit. You just hang tight while I get my sleeper on real quick. But that being said, we got to talk about it. There's a few things that we've got to discuss, and that one of them being Shedeur Sanders and the Browns. I gotta get into that, because could you imagine you're a teammate of Shedeur and you're watching your team come back and do big things, and your coach decides to go Wildcat? Are we really going Wildcat? Is that what we're doing here? And that's exactly what took place. These guys opted to go with a Wildcat and end up losing the game. And if I'm a defensive player, I'm a linebacker I'm a corner. I busted my tail all day, and I watch y'all do a Wildcat at the end, bro. Let's go back to traditional. This guy's been cooking. He's got 300 plus yards passing. He's got 4 touchdowns, bro. He's hot. He's low key hot. Let him. If you win it, you win it. If you lose, you lose. You can't lose on a freaking Wildcat. You can't take that brother off the field on a Wildcat. That's wild. It's like taking Josh off. Can you imagine? Even when Josh was a rookie, you don't take that brother off. You know what I'm saying? And this guy's got pinpoint accuracy. He'll find something. These Browns, bro, I just can't understand what is happening. I'm not going to sit here and say because I hate that narrative of the coach just hates him. He's hating on him. But you do have to question, like, yo, what are you doing? What are you, like, I mean, in the words of Josh, what are we doing? What are we doing exactly? So I found that extremely puzzling, to like not let your quarterback cook and then following that saying, by the way, he's going to be the starter the rest of the season. I've seen enough. Bro, if you don't cut that nonsense out, you saw it in preseason. You saw it while he, for the first start that he had, although it wasn't the sexiest, but you can see that, okay, he's got some juice to him. Losing on a freaking, that's what I'm talking about, Lord. Losing on a Wildcat? That's insanity to me. That's absolutely nuts. I think that's kind of that's just weird. That's a strange business to me. So weird business. But shout out to the Browns, because the Browns, I mean, they look like a team now. And when we face them, I mean, obviously we won't want any of that nonsense. Myles Garrett, we're gonna have to shut that brother down. So my man Dion's gonna have a tall task ahead of him. So that should be fun. That should be fun. All right. What I wanted to touch on as well was what it looks like for playoffs, man. I know that my man Bot went through it with you guys and path of what we need to do and so on and so forth. And I'm at that point where I'm actually excited for the Bills to be on the road. Is that crazy? I'm actually excited for the Bills to be on the road, because like you've had the advantages of being at home, and don't get me wrong, it's fantastic to be at home, but sometimes you got to get it out the mud. Right? Kind of like, you know what I mean, the Giants back in 2008, they had to get it out the mud. They had to go on the road, do what they need to do, and win, and ultimately, you know what I mean, win the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying we got to channel the 2008 Giants, but like, bro, being on the road, I got no issues with it. It gives you an extra level of focus, right? We're on the road. We know this is not our territory, so we got to silence this crowd and take over. And we have the quarterback to do that. We have him. And I feel like right now, the Bills are starting to find their identity slightly in terms of defense and what this offense is doing. And I hope I'm onto something with that. It's just that when we've tweaked enough around the offense, especially with all these injuries that we've been plagued with, it seems as though we've found a little something, right? Shaq Thompson being added as linebacker has dwindled the ability for teams to run on us. We were allowing guys to run at a 5-yard clip. Listen to me when I tell you this: 5 yards, 5 and above yard clip. when he wasn't in the middle of that defense, when he wasn't starting. And this is no shade on Bernard. I know somebody was trying to say, yo, he's been whacked. He's also been banged up. He's also been hurt, just gutting and doing the best that he could. So we've actually found something that works in the middle of that defense. And since Shaq Thompson has emerged and put in that spot, in the 3 games that he started, not only have we reduced the amount of times that these guys are running on us, but there's a sense of physicality that's been introduced to this defense. And we've now reduced the amount of yardage per run from 3.3 to about 4.7. Right? 3.3 to 4.7 in that range. So I'll take that over the 5.1 and above, right? At one point, there was a game that these guys were allowing 6 yards a pop. Can't have that. We need physicality and we need that ASAP. So Shaq Thompson being right in that smack dab middle of that defense. And I'm not going to hate on Milano. Milano's been doing his thing as well, right? But I think where Shaq belongs is right in that middle, and it just makes the overall defense a lot better. So instead of these third and then shorts, right, they're now second and mid and second and longs, because we're on top of these guys, stopping them ahead of the game and stopping them on runs. And we've got a guy that can process. So that is huge to us. And now it allows all these other guys to do their job, right? You see that 111th, see how it works? When some guys getting bullied and pushed all over, the identity of the offense changes. Bro, you see who's in the middle? Bro, man, run that rock, man. Run that thing again and run it again. But when there's a guy that's imposing, that is gonna smack you in the mouth, that is gonna shove you out the way, and that is gonna smack you, like my man Carl Jones was saying, that changes a little bit. That changes the speed of the game. That changes what you want to do. That changes what the offensive coordinator wants to do. So that's what I love seeing. So have we found our identity slightly? Are we tweaking it still? I believe we are. But I'm encouraged by the constant tweaking that we will do. That way we're somewhat ready to just kind of do what we need to do when we get to the playoffs, right? So that being said, I like that part. Finding our identity on the offensive side of the ball. We're a running team. We're a running team. And right now with Kincaid returning healthy, maybe we can kind of open things up a little bit. Now, do I need more from the offense? Absolutely. Do I need more from my more specifically wide receivers? 100%. They've become the last 3 games. They've become 3 games. I should go longer than that. They've become non-existent, completely non-existent. Like it's like there's no 2 receptions for you, 2 receptions for you. Like what happened? Like what happened, man? Like my gosh, man. So hopefully with Kincaid staying healthy and us getting into this whole Hernandez Gronk kind of combo or light version of that, maybe we're onto something, and then allow this mesh concept to continue to work. But let's hold the brakes just a tiny bit. We did play the Bengals, one of the worst defenses in the game, so that worked then. Now we're going up against a defense that's got I think the number 5 defense in the game. So in terms of points against, so they've got the New England Patriots have the number 7 offense. The Bills have the number 5 offense. The Bills have the number 14 I think it's points 4 defense, and the Patriots have the number 5 points 4 defense. So that tells me this is going to be a game. Now, matchups matter. Who the heck the Patriots have been playing matters. They played a Bengals team without Jamar Chase. I think that would have been absolutely much different, but they're about to play a team that is motivated, and we lost the first matchup. So you best believe that these Bills are coming to bring it to these boys. At least that's exactly what I'm looking forward to seeing. I need that to happen. So I can't tell you how I'm looking forward to seeing the Bills face these guys. The amount of penalties we had the last time we faced them. Do you guys remember the last matchup? Let me remind you. Let me remind you real quick what it looked like the last time we played these boys, man. Like we were just out of sync, completely out of sync. Let me just go back. We faced these guys week 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Week 6. Am I saying that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Week 5, we faced these boys. They won the game 23-20. Remember, the first half, there was only 9 points scored the first half. And then things started to kind of somewhat open up in the second half. So, like, Drake May's been on a run. You know what I mean? They've been calling him MVP, but I think all that MVP chat is going to be put to bed. Did he make a couple nice throws? Don't get me wrong. He did. right? And Stephon Diggs had his best game against the Bills. So I think a lot of things are going to be factored into this game that's going to change. And I stand on that, man. I really do. I really do stand on that. I mean, think about it. If you go back to that game, the Bills went 5 for 9 on third downs. Patriots went 3 for 9, right? So not horrible there. But here's the biggest thing, man. 3 turnovers. We ain't giving you the football 3 times for you guys to have all these opportunities to go out and do your business. We held the ball 34 minutes. 34 minutes of time of possession. 11 penalties for 90 yards, bruh. We ain't giving you the football like that, and we ain't going to be penalized like that. That's crazy talk. So we listen, we coming, bro. I sound like Dion when he was bringing his Louis luggage to Colorado. But we coming. All right? We coming. Where we do that, that's up to us. We'll decide where that ends up. I'm just saying. So I'm looking forward to this game, man. I really am, man. For real. Because this game was tight all the way through. Tight all the way through, man. So let's go. I'm excited for that. And by the time that we play, we got a healthy Kincaid. Shaq Thompson would be in the middle of that defense. And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it cracking. We definitely gonna get it cracking. So 146 yards for Benford. Think about it. At that time, we had no Shaq Thompson in the middle of the defense. We didn't have the Cole Bishop that we have right now playing good ball, right? At that time, we didn't have a Max Hairston coming. You mean we didn't have a Max Hairston kind of getting involved in the game? There was a lot of things that we didn't have obviously that sucks that we didn't have Michael Hoyt, but we didn't have a Larry Ogunjobi. So there's a lot of things that were different at that time. So yeah, we gonna get it cracking, baby. We gonna get it cracking. I can't wait. All right, folks, that's my time, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys know I do. I gotta get a super chat in because I did have my man Signified Knows. I got his comment in there. We also have a new member, Courtney Bartley. What up, Courtney? Salute to Courtney. Love it. Love every minute of it. And listen, supporting Buffalo Fanatics means a lot to me, means a lot to Z-Bot, means a lot to Pierre, Bobby. It means a lot to us because it just shows that you guys rock with us, and it's support, right? When you rock with a podcast, you rock with the people, and y'all been listening to me for a minute now. That's love. And I appreciate you, man. So I can't get out of here before reading my slips, right? We got that Thursday night game coming up. Folks. I got to talk to you guys about it. So hang tight. Let me talk to you. So if you guys have not been able to jump in and get your $20, you'll listen. We'll hook you up, man. We'll hook you up. Where can you get a free entry to go and do what you need to do? Take it. It's right there. Use that code BF25, man. Get a 100% match up to $100. Just using the code BF25. So without further ado, let me share my page. And let me tell you what we gonna be cooking for this game. So I mean, listen, you guys already know it's all fun for me. I have not been able to hit, but something tells me this might be the one that does hit. This might be the one that does it. So let me share my screen so I can show you guys a little some coming your way. Let me share my screen real quick. All right. So if you guys are seeing this, I got Baker Mayfield and the Atlanta Falcons going up against each other. All right. So you know me, I like free. Free is my middle name. I like that free. If you give me something for free, I'm going to take it. Right. Bucky Irvin being back is huge for the Tampa Bay Bucks. And if you have him on your fantasy squad going into the playoffs, start him. If you're not going to start him, shame on you. You better get him in there, and he will play well. Go ahead and start that, brother. Anytime touchdown? Yup. Mr. Bijan Robinson. Anytime touchdown? Yup. This is a big matchup. And according to Mr. Ian Rappaport and Ian Schefter, according to Mr. Schefter himself, he claims that Raheem Morris, he didn't say it in those words per se, but he said to the nature of Raheem Morris is in what we'll call that, he's a little bit in trouble. There's some trouble brewing for Raheem Morris. Why? Well, bro, he hasn't had a solid year. It's been a rough one for him. And if he loses this one, then there could be a Black Monday coming. So this is a huge game for Atlanta. This is huge for them. and we'll see how it shakes out at the end of the day. Last but not least, I got to talk about this weird news that's going on in the NFL. I don't get it. It's weird to me, but that's what's happening. The Indianapolis Colts, they lose Daniel Jones to an unfortunate injury. This guy was breaking with a broken fibula or cracked or a hairline in his fibula. And on top of that, he plays the game, then ruptures his Achilles. Pops. He's done for the year. They don't have a quarterback. Anthony Richardson is on IR with a broken orbital bone, so he can't play. Or they just don't want him to flat out play. Because if they really want him, they say, yo, you ready to go? No, you're not? Okay, cool. So they got Riley Leonard. That is their backup, but he's hurt. So I don't know if it was Phillip Rivers that called or they called Phillip Rivers. He's got a relationship with Shane Steichen. So Rivers is coming back to play football, and he actually signed to their practice squad. So he must have been doing a whole lot of working out, and he probably looks great for them to even consider this. He's a 44-year-old quarterback that hasn't played since COVID year. If he was 44 and didn't play last year and he's been a year off, I could understand that. I'll take that. Kind of like Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was sitting on his couch and they said, yo, you trying to come on and play? And he's been playing ever since. That's a whole different ballgame. This brother hasn't played in forever. And in NFL terms, that is a long time. COVID year, when there was only 6,000 people in the stands because they wouldn't allow people to do that. You remember that? That's silliness. This brother's coming back to play. And they signed him. Bro, I like it for, this is funny, but I don't like it because this is weird. This is weird. That's weird business. You're signing a 44. It's almost insulting if I'm keeping it all the way real. Very insulting. Because there are some capable young quarterbacks that are in the free agent pool right now, itching to get a spot to play. Rivers is coming in just for fun. Yeah, let me see if I still got it. When you see guys playing hoops, they're on the court, you know what I'm saying? And you're in your 40s like myself, and I see a bunch of young 20-year-olds playing, and you're like, you know what? Let me see if I still got that jumper. Let me see if I still got that crossover. And you go out there and you quickly find out why you're where you're at. That, I think, is going to happen to Phillip Rivers, man. The speed of the game is different. And you haven't played. You didn't have an off season. And you're just going to – I know he's going to the practice squad, and he's there as a just in case. But if they really don't like Riley Leonard, you'll see Phillip Rivers in 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, it might be too late. So, maybe we see him sooner. He's going to have to get a crash course on how this all plays out. Maybe they start Riley Leonard this week. Or they like Phillip Rivers that much where they say, yo, young pup, you're done. Phillip's in. It's just weird. Listen, I'm with this. I said this on my on Twitter. It's embarrassing because you have a guy that really wants to play in Colin Kaepernick. Yes, he hasn't played in forever, but he's younger. At least he's athletic. If he can't read the defense well enough, he can take off with his legs. They don't take you, to read a whole bunch of stuff, man. Find the hole and take it, and then the game will slow down for you. But why are you signing a 44-year-old that's got a daughter that's already married, and she's probably going to have her own? Actually, he's a grandfather. That's what I understand as well. So this is just very bizarre. I don't like it. It's lame. And nah, I'm not feeling that. And I bring up Colin Kaepernick just because he's out there. If they said we're bringing Colin Kaepernick in, I'd be like, okay, I get it. He hasn't played and you're desperate. That's desperate. This is publicity. This is getting seats in the getting people to sit in the stands. All of that. I think it's just super bizarre. And now you're bringing in this old man to come play. Old man Rivers. Old man Rivers coming to play. Grandpa's coming to play, bro. Come on, man. That's craziness. He's gonna come in, you know what I'm saying, and be the Horace Grant of you know what I'm saying. Where are my glasses at so I can see what's going on downfield? I need to see. I need to really see what's cracking, right? And I'm exaggerating because there's contacts nowadays, but come on, man, this is just bizarre for me. So, what's the odds here's a question for y'all. What are the odds that he plays sooner than we think? I said 2 weeks, but like at that point, the Colts can't afford to lose any more games because they have a 51% chance to make the playoffs. I think that's their odds. You know what? Let's go take a look at what the actual odds are right now. So hang tight while I go and have a look see on what the odds are for these Colts to make the playoffs. Let's have a look see here. Let me share my page with y'all, and we'll get it cracking here. So let's go to the good old playoff picture. What does it look like? Let me share my screen, and we'll take a little dabble, and allow us to have a look. So let me share my screen. Let me see. Can you guys see that? Okay. Let me zoom it in so you have a better. Oh, I zoomed in the wrong page. This is the one I wanted to zoom. Let me zoom this in real quick. I think that's good. That's good. So Broncos 99%, Patriots 99%. You guys can see my page. Yes, excellent. All right, let's get back into it. Jaguars at 97%. So and then you got the Steelers at 66%. That's the barn burner. The AFC North is going to be right down to the end. We'll see how that plays out. Chargers that are 76%, Bills 96%, and maybe the Bills can jump up to the fifth. So then they'll end up playing the Steelers. So that's probably how I think it's going to play out to begin with. So the Bills will probably end up being the fifth spot, depending on how things go. If we win out, that's where we'll be. Then you got the Texans at 88%. So right now, this is pretty much what your playoffs are going to look like, minus this AFC North. And the Chiefs are still in technically. So Colts, oh my gosh, I said 50%. They're at a 32% opportunity to make the playoffs. So right now they're absolutely desperate. Absolutely desperate. The Ravens also 33% to make the playoffs. The Chiefs are still hanging on. They got 11% chance to make the playoffs. That was a bad loss to the Houston Texans. That was a game that they absolutely needed, but they looked outmatched. The Texans just looked like the better team, period. Just like they looked against us. Listen, the Dolphins have 1% chance, and so do the Bengals. So these guys are on a tear. They've been winning. And I don't care who they've been playing, but these guys are currently on a nice little win streak. Good for the Dolphins. The Bengals, tough loss for them. They're most likely out. They need some help, to figure some things out. But my, this is what it looks like. This is exactly what it looks like. So these Colts bringing in a 44-year-old. When is he turning 45? I need to know. When is Philip Rivers' birthday? Either he just turned 44 or he's in the middle. Okay, if you mean Philip Rivers, his birthday is December 8th, 1981. So he just turned 44. 44 is still 44 at the end of the day. 44 is still 44 at the end of the day. So we'll see, man. Hey, maybe he comes in and just kills it. And we're like, you know what? Age ain't none but a number. We say it in relationships. Can we say it in sports? Because age does matter in sports. I'll tell you that much. But he might say, you know what? Let me reverse the clocks. Let me get my LeBron on. You feel me? So shoot, if that happens, kudos to him. So this is what the playoffs look like, folks. This is what a playoff looks like. All right. I got my guy Richie Fresh against hot take. Bills beat Pats. Bills win division in week 18. Bro, let me paint something for you guys. Let me bring this down a little bit. The Bills win out, but week 18 is where they need to win that game against the Jets to go and win the division. In those 90s red helmet uniforms. Don't forget, I think that's the uniforms I'm going to be wearing in week 18 versus the Jets. So to clinch the AFC East in the last year of you guys being in that stadium and et cetera, bro, would that be a storyline? Wouldn't that be a freaking storyline? The Bills clinch, they win out, the Patriots lose to whomever, and it comes down to the Bills beating the Jets in those 90s red helmet unis. Come on now. Now that is a story. Is that in the script? Is that in the script? Maybe that might be in the script. So shoot, maybe that does happen. And then we have a fairy tale, get to the playoffs, and then we get home game, and we go all the way through. No Burrow, no Pat, no Lamar. We got to face the Justin the Herberts of the world. We got to face maybe the Aaron Rodgers of the world. We got to face Bo Nix. And there's no shade on any of these guys. I'm just saying. It's just a Billsy thing to happen, isn't it? We talk about the Billsy ways to lose. Wouldn't that be a Billsy way to really go out and just make it fairy tale, where the Bills look like they're not going to win the division. The Patriots are running away with it. They're getting Drake May. He's the new guy, and he's going to get the MVP. He's like a clone of Josh Allen. Rah, 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 rah. Then the Bills start winning. They're putting things together. They win against the Pats, and they win out. And for them to clinch that playoff, they got to beat the Jets in the 90s red helmets that everybody's been asking for. And then they get home field advantage. And then they clean house and go to the Super Bowl. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Hey, one game at a time. One game at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. If you guys enjoyed this show, do me a favor, smash that like before you get out of here. If you have not subscribed to the channel, if you have not followed me on any social media platforms, go ahead and follow me on Bleacher Report. I stream every Sunday after the games, post game. Check me out. Download the app. If you have not been able to follow me on Twitter, go ahead and follow me, Rico_BF. Everything is in the handle. Now, Christmas is around the corner. I keep telling y'all, I don't know what y'all waiting for, right? Let me kind of, I want to show you guys a little something, just to kind of, you know what I mean, get you in the Christmas spirit. Hold that thought. Let me just, I'm typing with one hand here, so pardon me, because it's just awkward for me to like reach out. Let me show you guys a little something before I get out of here, man, because I feel like if you're looking to, you know what I mean, put a little something in the stockings, little stocking stuffer is what they call it, right? Isn't that what they call it? Stocking stuffer, right? Get yourself, listen, let me show you a little something, man. I want you guys to head over to supportbf.com. Okay. Head over to supportbf.com. I'll tell you why. Let me zoom in just so I can see, so I can show you guys. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. We got merch. I don't know if you guys know this, but we got merch. Right? You see the hoodie right here, right? Break the glass just in case. You got Josh Allen with the hurdle. Listen, t-shirt, hoodie, you got it. Remember that iconic big time comeback from the Bills? 40-25, and the Bills end up winning 41-40. Boom, get in there. Everybody that sees that top, they're going to know exactly what we talk about. All is right here, baby. Remember who we have. Hoodie, t-shirt, suffering Bills character. You guys know what time it is. We've been Bills fans for a long time. I mean, we've done some suffering, but now we're reaping those days that we suffered, and now we're getting some wins, and it's good to be a Bills fan. You mean MVP Josh Allen? You got the lake effect. The lateral, you remember the lateral, but Josh goes that touchdown off of Amari Cooper. Buffalo versus everybody. We got it all right here. T-shirts, hoodie, we got it all. Let James cook. I don't know why you guys haven't been able to get these ones. This one here is one of my favorites. Let James cook right here. Go ahead. Stocking stuffer, Allen and Coleman. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can get this connection right back again, right? Just joshing, right? We got everything you need, bro. Everything you need. Believe the GOAT. Everything is here. Supportbf.com. If you want to even be funny, you can even cop the hoodie with Pierre and Bobby throwing me through a table. I don't know why I'm the one that they're throwing through a table. It's absolutely ridiculous. You got the wing, the Buffalo wing, Buffalo legend. Everything is right here. And you can take your pick, man. Take your pick. Everything you got. If you just want to support the brand, you know what I mean? Everything is right here, right? When in doubt, thigh it out. If you want to support our guy, the Thigh Doc, get it right here, man. You got it all, man. And if it's just hoodie you want, cool. You want a ball cap, you got the ball caps. You want a mug, you want a glass cup. Everything is all here. Go ahead. You got the BF toques, you got the pullover, the champion jacket. I mean, so I might even get me one of those. I mean, I think we just put that up there. So you guys see it, man. Everything is right there for you guys. And if you guys want to support BF, that's how we love for you guys to support BF. And my man said, yo, you better have a discount on that Coleman Allen. You know what? Just for you, hit me up. I'll give you that discount. I'll give you that. Buffalo versus everybody. You guys know it, man. You guys see it. So if you guys are here for it, go ahead. Supportbf.com. Everything is all there. And we'll go from there. You guys have yourself a fantastic evening. And we'll catch you guys on the flip. Until next time, it's your boy,